What's up, everybody? My name is Dana Harris with Young Gurus Math Tutoring, and I'm back again to drop some more math jewels. In this video, we're going to solve quadratic equations using the completing the square method. That's right, we're completing the square. Now, please keep in mind as you watch this video, there are several methods to solving quadratic equations. This is just one of the many methods that you can use. But with no further ado, let's get right into the examples. Example 1. I hope that blue is showing up well. It looks like it is. We have p squared plus 14p minus 38 equals 0. Now, one of the first things you always want to do is you want to make sure this thing is set equal to 0. Is a rule of thumb, but it doesn't always have to be. In this case, you want to look at it and set it equal to 0, which is already that way. Blah, blah, blah. So I want to take this constant right here over to the other side. So I'm going to add 38. All right, adding 38 to both sides. So now we have the p squared plus 14p. Now, we're going to set that equal to 0 plus 38 is 38. But now I need to add some term. And I put it in a box like this just to kind of keep myself lined up and aware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of this b term. So I'm going to take 14 divided by 2, because if I take a number divided by 2, that's half of it, and I'm going to square that. All right, and whatever you add to one side, you have to add to the other side. So I have 14 divided by 2 squared. Well, I'm going to simply rewrite that. 14 divided by 2 is 7, okay? And then 7 squared, so we have plus 49. And then that's equal to 38 plus 49. Now, just for a second, the reason I want to show you why this is in a box, because 14 divided by 2 is 7. And you're going to see right here when we factor in this next step where that's going to come into play. So if I factor p squared plus 14p plus 49, it actually is going to be p plus 7 times p plus 7. All right, so I'm going to write it like this the first time. P plus 7 times p plus 7 equals 38 plus 49. Well, if I have p plus 7 times p plus 7, I can take p plus 7 to the second power, okay? And I'm going to set that equal to 38 plus 49 is 87, all right? And just for, if you want to check behind me, p times p is p squared plus 7p plus 7p, which gives me 14p. 7 times 7 is 49. All right. Now, we got to solve for p. That's our ultimate goal because we're solving this equation. So I want to take the square root of both sides. Take the square root there. That leaves me with just p plus 7 is equal to the square root of 87. Now, I got to solve for p. So I'm going to subtract 7 here as well. Now, here's the key. I have p by itself, but it's equal to negative 7. Remember, the square root has a positive square root and a negative square root. So I'm going to say negative 7 plus the square root of 87, or p equals negative 7 minus the square root of 87. So you have two answers here. And the reason being is because the square root of 87 has a positive square root and it has a negative square root. All right? So that's one example. Let's go to another example, and let's get this out of here real quick. It's been a while since I've recorded, but you know what? I'm always excited to do these videos for you all. Thank you in advance to everyone that has been watching, sharing, and we are slowly but surely getting these to the world. Let's get right into example numero dos. Fun fact about me. I really have this dream and this vision to, I have a vision to be able to teach in Spanish. Okay, I've been saying that for years. I haven't really applied myself to it, but I'm going to very soon. My current student population is helping me out. So notice, in this case, we have the squared term by itself. I need to move this negative 20k term over here. Well, the opposite of subtracting 20k is adding 20k. All right, so I'm going to add 20k here. and I'm going to add 20k here. Now, typically, because these are not like terms, I wouldn't put them on top of each other like that. But as I'm doing this, I realize I didn't leave space. Okay, so these are not like terms. So when I do that, I have to say 5k squared plus 20k equals 60. Okay, keep that 60 right there. These cancel out. All right, now let's go through the same process. So first of all, we got to do one thing. I'm sorry, before we go through that same process, I technically need this leading coefficient to be 1. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to divide everything by 5. Now, I really should have did that first. And I'll be honest with you, in my notes, that's the first thing I did, but we're going to keep it rolling. So I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5, and this will work out. So I'm left with k squared plus 4k equals 60 divided by 5 is 12. Okay? Now, this just makes the numbers easier, actually. We could have done this divide by 5 first. Typically, that's what I would have done. But anyway, now I have k squared plus 4k. Remember, plus half of 4, so 4 divided by 2 squared is equal to 12 plus 4 divided by 2 squared. All right, so I have k squared plus 4k plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then 2 squared is 4. So plus 4 equals 12 plus 4. All right, now we're going to factor this. This gives me k plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So k plus 2 squared is equal to 16. All right, notice I got this because k squared plus 4k plus 4, if I factor it, k plus 2 times k plus 2, which is the same thing as taking k plus 2 to the second power. When we get down here, we'll say we take the square root of both sides. Once we take the square root of both sides, we have k plus 2 is equal to square root of 16 is 4. But now remember, this is plus or minus 4. Okay? So I'm going to move back over here. I have k plus 2 equals plus or minus 4. So now I subtract 2. Subtract 2. So watch this. I have two sides. I have k is equal to negative 2 plus 4. And I used or last time, but it's both answers. K is equal to negative 2 minus 4. So now, negative 2 plus 4, that gives me k is equal to 2. And then negative 2 minus 4, that gives me k is equal to negative 6. All right? So if I substitute 2 or negative 6 into this equation, it's going to work either way. That will give me 0. Let's double check it real quick. Let's use 2. 2 squared is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 4 is 80. 60 minus, I'm sorry, 20 times 2 is 40. I totally put the wrong number in there. So 60 minus 20 times 2 is 40. 60 minus 40 is 20. So same thing. It equals out on both sides. All right. If I have negative 6, negative 6 squared is 36 times 5 is equal to the same thing if I take 20 times negative 6 and do the math. All right. So let's look at one more example. One more example. Let's go ahead and get to that real quick. I apologize too. For a long time when I recorded these videos, I would erase the mistakes. But you know what? I don't want anybody watching this to think that I am a mathematician that's perfect. One of the things that I learned from a lot of the mathematicians that I studied under was that these mathematicians that I thought were oh so great, they are great and they are brilliant. But I realized that they made mistakes. I didn't know that. N squared is equal to 18n plus 40. Alright, and I think the numbers on this one were kind of odd. So I'm going to take this 18n term to the left by subtracting 18n. And I'll show you this one right here, minus 18n. Alright, so I'm going to put the n squared term first. N squared minus 18n is equal to 40. Alright, now still got to take this n squared minus 18n plus, now watch this one, negative 18 over 2 squared is equal to 40 plus negative 18 over 2 squared. Alright, same thing. So now n squared minus 18n plus negative 18 over 2 is negative 9. Negative 9 squared is 81. So plus 81 is equal to 40 plus 81. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and factor this. In this case, it's n minus 9 squared. Alright, and remember, the term that's going to be in parentheses when I factor it is going to be, that's why I put this in a box, because notice every time, negative 18 divided by 2 is negative 9. And if you look at the previous examples, whatever was in this box, that's actually what's going to be here in the parentheses. Alright, so quick hint. 81 plus 40 is 121. Alright, fortunately that's a perfect square number. Okay, so we got to take the square root of both sides. Alright, square root n minus 9 is equal to plus or minus 11. That's plus or minus. So n minus 9 equals 11, and n minus 9 equals negative 11. Alright, plus 9, plus 9, plus 9, plus 9. That gives us here n equals 20. And here I get n equals negative 2. Alright? So, that is my last and final example. Thank you so much, everyone that has watched. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I'm going to continue doing it. Young Gurus Math Tutoring, please go to my IG page at YoungGurus_Math Tutoring. On Facebook, Young Gurus Math Tutoring. And also check out my website, www.younggurusmathtutoring.com. That's Young Gurus, so 2 G's. Remember, I've got the solution to your math problems. Thanks, everybody.